Hey everybody, Ross here, and this is Bible Study Silverstar. If this is your first time on this channel, click the first link down in the description, or if you'd like to see what's just been going on recently, click the second link in the description to go back to Exodus 1. Now, without further ado, I'm just going to jump right on into Exodus 2, verse 1. And the man of the house of Levi went and took his wife, a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. And his sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him, and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." So the maiden went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him, and the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, "Because I drew him out of the water." Now it came to pass, in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out to his brethren and looked at their burdens. And he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So he looked this way and that, and when he saw no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 Hebrew men were fighting. And he said to the one who did the wrong, "Why are you striking your companion?" Then he said, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" So Moses feared and said, "Surely this thing is known." When Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came out and drew water, and they filled the troughs to water their flocks, their father's flocks. Then the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How is it that you come so soon today?" And they said, "An Egyptian delivered us from the hand of the shepherds, and he also drew enough water for us and watered the flock." So he said to his daughters, "And where is he? Why is it that you have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread." Then Moses was content to live with the man, and he gave Zipporah, his daughter, to Moses, and she bore him a son. He called his name Gershom, for he said, "I have been a stranger in a foreign land." Now it happened, in the process of time, that the king of Egypt died. Then the children of Israel groaned because of the bondage, and they cried out and their cry came up to God because of the bondage. So God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God acknowledged them. Alright. At first, I couldn't decide if Moses' mother put him in the river out of fear for her and her family's lives, or if she did it in faith, believing that God would care for her child. Then the Lord reminded me of Hebrews 11:23, which says, "By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden 3 months by his parents, because they saw he was a beautiful child, and they were not afraid of the king's command." This is an excellent example of the Bible's beauty, because it not only refers to itself hundreds and thousands of years apart, but because it also clarifies itself. It's also a good example of why we should read through the entire Bible, so we can get the whole picture, which this is what we're doing on this channel, right? Anyway, Moses being found by Pharaoh's daughter begins another account of God's providence and care for his people. I wonder if the compassion of Pharaoh's daughter extended only to Moses, though, or if she silently disagreed with the killing of Hebrew boys and took this opportunity to show that compassion and disagreement. Now, Moses' sister was not only caring, but smart. Seeing Pharaoh's daughter's compassion, she took the opportunity to offer a nurse for the baby Moses. Pharaoh's daughter probably had no idea that the little girl before her intended to take the boy back to his mother. Not only that, but the arrangement ended with Moses' mother being paid for caring for her own child. It's pretty sweet, right? Anyway, it's unclear how long Moses' mother had to raise him before bringing him to Pharaoh's daughter, but it seems likely that it was long enough to instill him with an understanding of his heritage and its importance. I get this from the way that we see Moses handling the Egyptian versus the way he handles the Israelites later in the chapter. He kills the Egyptian outright, but talks to the 2 Israelites, likely in an attempt to reason with them. Now, why did Moses kill the Egyptian and try reasoning with the 2 Israelites? Hebrews 11:24-26 sums it up nicely when it says, "By faith, Moses, when he became of age, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the passing pleasures of sin, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he looked to the reward." To put it another way, Moses valued his identity in God more than his identity as an Egyptian. The 2 Israelites, however, viewed Moses purely as an Egyptian at this point, and somehow made Pharaoh aware of Moses' crime. Moses, understandably, fled for his life into Midian, where God would mold him and train him into the man he needed him to be. This is also where Moses meets his wife and begins his family. And finally, the chapter ends with the people of Israel crying out to God because of their affliction, and God acknowledging them. We'll need to wait to see how God responds, though, in Exodus 3. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, or suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. And may God make you as Ephraim and Manasseh, to be fruitful where you are, and to forget the pain of your past. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all soon in Exodus 3.